Hello and welcome. My name's CATH J and I thought I'd do a quick little fall tutorial for you. I am preparing my wellness and well-being video now that should be released within the week. But I thought in the interim I'd release something so you know I'm still around. Everything is still going fine. Thank you to Judy Carvill and to Little Poet and Desi for being my newest Patreon supporters, and I do appreciate all that anybody is able to donate there. That's been very helpful. Still unemployed, but it's looking really good. I had some really good interviews last week and waiting to hear back on one. I think things are going to be fine, so those of you who are job hunting, keep on with it, keep on keeping on, keep positive, and things will work out eventually for you. I also am trying two products from the new Selena Gomez line called Rare Beauty. This is the lipstick in Praise, which I'm wearing right now, and I really like it. It doesn't last very long though, so I'll talk about that a little bit later. And then I got a free sample of the blush. And the blush is called Grace, and I'm wearing it right now. It's a very beautiful natural flush look, and it's a cream blush. So these are the two things I tried from the Rare Beauty line. But the Nars, this is the soft matte foundation from Nars, and this is something that a lot of people have been talking about. It's generating a lot of interest on YouTube, and so I couldn't resist. Of course now, a lot of the local Sephoras to me do not have this in stock, so I had to order it online and I had to kind of guess at the color, and they had the foundation shade finder thing, and I used other foundations that I've tried, and they said that Fiji would be the best color for me. So I got it, and I was a little nervous because Fiji is very golden-y, like yellow. Can you say yellow? It's very, very yellow. And I thought, okay, how am I gonna work this into the plan? But actually, I'm wearing it now, and I am using it in the tutorial, and you'd be surprised how well it blends in with your skin, even though it looks very golden-y with my bronzer and my blush and everything. It just works just fine. So I think I'm actually going to keep it because I think it works really well. It's the proper tone. It's just a little bit golden yellow, but I think for autumn time this is really nice, and I really like it. So let's get on with the demonstration, and I'll get back with you afterwards to tell you a little bit of my thoughts on the new makeup. My favorite product in this little line next to the foundation is the Coffee CATH palette from WETnWILD. And it was so funny, I did not realize that Coffee CATH meant that it was flavored coffee because I just started putting the eye makeup on and I could smell something that smelled like coffee beans. And I thought, that's weird, this eye makeup smells like coffee beans. And I smelled it, and then I suddenly smelled the palette and realized Coffee CATH means it's coffee flavored. So it just, and on the back there are each of the names for each of the shadows is on the back, but I never look at that sort of thing. But I did notice with the darker shades, there was a stronger smell of coffee. And I thought that can't be a bad thing at all. I like that better than chocolate. I think it's more of a coffee with cream and sugar in it smell. So I think you might find this quite pleasant, and it's light. It's not a real heavy like the chocolate stuff in the Too Faced palettes or the peach stuff in the Too Faced palettes. You're going to find that this coffee scent it's very light. It's almost an afterthought. It's like, did I smell coffee just now? Yeah, it's a very light smell. But the colors are very nice. I did demonstrate the Brulee shade versus this lighter shade here. They are calling it cream and sugar in the palette, so it is not exactly like the Brulee shade. It's pretty close. It's slightly lighter than the Brulee shade, but I think on the eye, I used Brulee on one side and the cream and sugar on the other. They look so similar, you can't really tell the difference. Formulation wise, the Brulee still feels to me a little more buttery, so I still think whatever they do with these little singles is different than what they do when they get their palettes made. So I think that this had some great autumny colors, transition color that I used here. Very, very beautiful, beautiful palette. So I'm really loving this palette. I think it's got a lot of potential for, you can go kind of a little over the top with it, glam with the darker shades, and the dark maroon red shade is really strong. I mean, it's a very pigmented shade. This dark brown was the one when I realized that it was the eyeshadow that smelled like coffee. And you know, these transition shades are nice. The metallic-y looking satin shades are really not as strong metallic as you would expect. They're more of a satin look, so it's not crushed glitter, which I'm very happy at. You know, some of these are just absolutely gorgeous. If you want to like spike up for the evening or something, I mean, look at that. It's a very autumny palette. I think this is perfect for this time of year. I love the coffee scent to it. And I think it is the good quality of the better palettes of WETnWILD. So I totally recommend this. This is the Coffee CATH palette. And it's available, I believe, at Ulta right now. I just received this and I've done like 3 or 4 different looks with it, and I'm absolutely loving it. So this was a really good palette for the price point. I think it was $9. Really, really good. I used the number 7 airbrush away, and this is a primer by number 7 that's tinted. It's supposed to be really kind of considered like a primer to put underneath your makeup. When I'm wearing a mask and I'm not going to be taking it off, I will put this on its own in the lower part of my face, because it does not transfer onto the mask, and it still gives me a little bit of coverage so that if I have to remove my mask for a second, it's not such a different change from my makeup upper half than the lower half. There is a little bit of tint here. It's not enough to cover as a foundation, but it's a very nice smoothing agent that looks a little bit like a primer, and it works nicely underneath your makeup. The Nars foundation, I really am impressed with this. This is the Soft Matte Foundation. This is the newest foundation from Nars. Even though it says soft matte, it is a very natural finish. I'm wearing it now. I have dry skin, I have large pores, I have some discolorations on my skin. It is a medium coverage. You will get some skin showing through, but that's a good thing. It fills in your pores so nicely that I would say if you have large pores, this is your man. This is your man. This is wonderful, absolutely. The colors online look a little bit deceiving from what they are in person. This is supposed to be a neutral light shade, and it's very golden. It's very yellowy. But on, with all my bronzer and blush and highlighter and everything and powder, it doesn't look yellow on. I think it blends really nicely with my skin tone, so I'm really pleased with Fiji. And I would say if you can go with a cooler tone with these, to do it, because it seems like the neutral tone is also very golden. So I'm not sure what the golden yellow tones would be like. I can imagine they're quite yellowy. But this lasted all day. It did not transfer onto my mask. I was so pleased with the performance of this, and it looks great. I think you can build it up a little bit to do the coverage. If you want more of a full coverage foundation, you can. A little goes a long way, so this is going to last quite a while. This is a 5-star item for me, I think. 5 of 5 stars. This could very well be a holy grail. I'm so impressed. So the Nars Soft Matte, and my color here is Fiji, and I'm really loving it. For concealer, I use the Herborian concealer, which is available at Sephora and possibly will be available in Ulta. I don't know, Ulta's really stepping up their game, getting a lot of new brands, but Herborian is a Korean brand, and the foundation is nice. The BB cream that has ginseng in it is my favorite from them, and the concealer is very nice as well. It blends nicely, it does not cake up, and you can do a light powder over the top to set it. I think it's a wonderful concealer. The 2 items that I got from the Rare Beauty, Selena Gomez's new line, this is the blush in Grace. It is a pale pink, kind of just a slight flush of color. It's just beautiful. It looks natural. It a little goes a very long way. So I mean, you just need a teeny tiny little dot, and I would say blend it with your finger rather than a brush or a beauty blender, because it just seems to work better when you can use the heat of your fingers to meld it into your skin. And it blends very evenly. It looks very, very nice. This is a wonderful product from Rare Beauty. The lipstick, I'm wearing that right now. This is the lip balm. The color is Praise, and the lip balm is very moist and hydrating, but there's a lot of transfer. It is not something you can wear underneath your mask, because it will transfer onto your mask very easily. It breaks down very quickly, but it breaks down nicely. There's an even look to it. So now I just blotted it with the tissue, and you can see it looks really nice. It's very beautiful. I love the color of the lipstick. This is the lip balm. And it feels great on the lips, but it does not last very long, and it does sink in a little bit to the lines. So, you know, if you go like that, you can kind of swirl it around and get rid of it, but it does sink into the lines a little bit. It does not last very long. It transfers on your coffee cup. It transfers inside your mask. So I'm not sure. You know, there's different criteria now. There's different filters that we have to use for our makeup now that we're wearing masks. And if you're having, say, a dinner date, and you have to wear a mask till you get to the dinner, and then you take the mask off to chit-chat with the person that you're having dinner with, then you've got to consider that you don't want your lipstick to look smeared like you're in a makeout session, you know, at least not at that point of the dinner, you know. Now, the lipstick that I used in the demonstration is the 24-Hour Super Stay from Maybelline. This is in Twisted Toffee, number 150. This is my favorite lipstick, I think, of all time. It is a 2-part lipstick. You have to apply the color part first and let it set for a minute. Do that. I call it the Republican smile, where you have to kind of do this and wait for a few minutes, and then you turn it around and you use the balm on the other side to soften it up, because it is a very dry kind of a formulation. This will not budge off your lips. This is perfect to wear underneath a mask because it will not transfer to the mask, and it lasts all day long. Now, I only wear this for special occasions, or if I have, if I'm meeting somebody for dinner or for lunch or something like that, I will wear this. But for general everyday, I wouldn't use it, because when you use a lip product like this, it can be drying on your lips. And so I only wear it for special occasions, but I do wear it anytime where I really need to have, like at a dinner or an event or something, and I take the mask off so that my lipstick's still showing. It's not all on the mask. So this is a wonderful product. I did use the Fit Me powder, and this is the Set and Smooth powder. It's very, very good for underneath the eyes. It's very good for just a little bit of patting around the deep lines to keep your products from congregating down there in your lines or in the cracks in your face. But I didn't really have that problem with the Nars foundation, which is kind of neat. I mean, I hardly had to use any powder at all because this was so good on its own. So I would say that if you are going to be taking your mask off at a dinner date, this is also another step that I used in the demo, and this is the Skindinavia, also Urban Decay's All Nighter is the same stuff, really. Shake it up really well, spray a few times, I fan it dry, and it holds the makeup. It's like hairspray for your makeup, and I love that. That's great. I did use my tattoo liner from KVD Beauty. They have continued making this even without Kat Von D's association with them. Now, she left the company. They had always made these products. She designed the artwork, but she didn't make the makeup. So she's long gone from this company. They're continuing to use the initials KVD. It does not mean Kat Von D, although personally, I think they should have probably changed their whole name after, but the tattoo liner is still being made under the KVD name, not Kat Von D. It is well worth buying. This is the one that doesn't splay out when you use it. You can make a really nice thick line or thin line. It's very even. The brush doesn't splay out. It's very controllable. The formula lasts all day, and this is why this is still in a lot of YouTubers' collections, even though, you know, she had caused a little bit of a stir there with the controversy. The mascara I used is the Almay Thickening One Coat Mascara. This is an old school thing for me. I used to use it back in the 90s when it first came out, and the early 2000s. This is one of my favorite drugstore mascaras. And Almay never gets talked about, but this is worthwhile. I started wearing this because I was concerned about my vision from wearing a mask and having the steam go up, and my glasses would get steamed up and my mascara would get wet and it would start to, you know, run and things. This doesn't run, and it's made by a doctor, so it is safe for your eyes. And I thought, well, if my mascara is going to get wet and get into my eyes, I want it to be something safe. So I started using the Almay just for that reason. So this is a mask thing, I think. So the Almay One Coat Thickening Mascara, really, really nice. I think the packaging is different now, but it is definitely a very good one. I did use the MAC Lip Liner in Boldly Bare, and I think that this color is really good on its own. If you are just going to go out, you may, for very brief periods of time, take your mask off. This is a great lip cover. It's not going to transfer onto your mask, and it does give you a pretty good coverage, so you have an even looking lip. It may not be as pretty as some of the lipsticks that you can wear, but it won't transfer onto your mask. And I think it's a safer bet to wear something like this on a daily basis than wearing lipstick. The lashes that I use are really cheap ones from Amazon. I just make sure that the band is fairly transparent. I don't like a real thick band on my eyelashes because it can give a harsh line on my upper eye, and I think that the band is nicer and I can fill it in with my eyeliner if I wish, or it just looks a little more natural, I think. So I do get wispy type styles for lashes, not too long, and I usually cut them in half and use half on one side and half on the other side, and sometimes I will just trim up a little bit if I need to. Now I do use the Duo, and this is a lash adhesive. This is the one that MAC recommends for all of their lashes, and I started using it because of that. But I think it's a really nice one. I use the white version. When you put it on, it goes on clear with a greenish white tinge, and when it changes over to blue, you know that it's ready for your lashes to adhere. Now I put the lash glue directly on my lids, which is an unusual process, but I learned that at Merle Norman Cosmetics. That's the way they do it at Merle Norman. And it works better for me than putting the glue on the lash and then waiting the 30 seconds and then maneuvering it around on my lash. It works better just painting it right onto my lid. You don't have to wait as long. You can put the lash directly on and then press it down and it's there. And you saw how easy it was in my demonstration, how to put the lashes in. So inexpensive lashes with a very transparent band, Duo lash adhesive, and painting it on my lashes first. This is the micro brow pencil from NYX that I used on my eyebrows. I don't do a really big boxy brow. I think it looks a little unnatural, especially being older, so I don't use that. And then over the top I used Ulta. This is a brow gel, and that covers over any of the white hairs or the hair that is discolored. So it kind of makes more of a uniform coloring, and it also works like a hairspray for my eyebrows and keeps them up and in shape. For my highlighter, I used Cindy Luminizer, but this is the Duminizer, which is a cream version of the famous highlighter that we used a lot in like 2013, 2014. This was like the highlighter of choice, the powder version. I really like the convenience of the cream version. It's not as messy and it stays put. I think it's really nice. It goes well over other makeup and you can blend it nicely with your finger. For eye primer, I use the, this is the Eye Elements in the color Central. And that is from Revolution Pro, which is a version of Makeup Revolution makeup out of the UK. I've used this almost to the bottom of the pan. I really like this color and this formulation. Just a little bit though, or else you can get the little cracked look on the inner corner of your eyelids. So this is a really nice eye primer formula. For setting my lips, I actually used a little bit of Hourglass powder, and I used a tissue with that to just blot over my lipstick, and that it was transparent enough that the lipstick still showed through, but it protected the inside of the mask from having it transfer, and it makes your lipstick last a lot longer. And I think that's pretty much everything. I hope that you've enjoyed today's little demo. I will be back very soon with a well-being and wellness during autumn and winter time video, more so geared towards dealing with COVID-19 and being stuck in the house, and also flu season. So we'll be talking about some things that can help keep you healthy and happy. So I hope all of you are doing all right through this. This is very, very frustrating, I know, for a lot of us. And I hope you're hanging in there, keeping positive. This will be over soon, and we'll all be able to laugh about it someday. Maybe not, but hang in there, have a wonderful week, and have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.